I don't think we should probably go down there.
There's a road.
Is there? Okay. All right.
You sound so confident.
Yeah, until we got to the end of the world.
It's fine.
All right. Okay. G'day everyone, it's Justin and Scott.
Hi.
Two dads again from BRRRRRM Australia. Coming to you today from the Australian press launch of the new LDV T60 ute. Now mate, we're in the new LDV T60 ute. It comes from LDV in China. It's probably the biggest news about one of these things at the moment. It's the first sort of Chinese product to really get a 5-star ANCAP rating. So
Correct.
The safety rating's just been announced, doesn't it?
Yes.
Now, for something different, we're actually out in the great outdoors with these bloody flies on an off-road track. Now, mate, you've had a drive of this thing over the course of today. Give us your impressions. What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, we've managed to drive both models, the Pro and the Lux. So we had the Pro this morning out on the open road, and you know, it's fit for purpose in terms of for the tradies. It's really good. We did think that the suspension was probably needed to be looked at a little bit in that sense, but then we've jumped in the Lux today, this afternoon, had a bit of a drive quickly on flatter roads, and the suspension seems a bit better. And now we've been a bit more compliant. Yep. And they are set up as different cars for different sort of purposes. And now we've had a chance to sort of take it on the out in the bush, do a bit of bush bashing, which has been a lot of fun. And this car seems very capable when you take it off the black stuff.
Well, I've got to say, I mean, the hill descent control in this thing, that little button that slows the ute down when it goes down steep hills, is really good. It works really well, doesn't it?
Very well.
Yeah, that's right. But the biggest thing I think about this car is the value for money aspect, isn't it? I mean, the base Pro model for the tradies there, $28,990 drive away at the moment for ABN holders, $30,990 for the auto version of that. The Lux that we're in at the moment, $32,990 drive away for an ABN holder, and $34,990 for the auto. Now, those prices, for what you're getting in the car, I think it's bloody good value, isn't it?
It's a lot of car, and then you get all the extra little features and accessories and add-ons and everything.
Oh, yeah.
In addition to that, it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, you know, side steps are standard on the thing. You've got a boot liner tray in the back, roof rails. You know, this thing here's got leather seats, heated seats as well. Yeah, so it's got an awful lot going for it in terms of value for money. Now, probably have to say one thing though, driving it on the open road, the 2.8 litre engine, which I think is a VM turbo diesel, comes from, it's like license built from Europe, could probably do with a little bit more power. This thing actually weighs about 2 tonne. I think for the manual it's 1950 kilos, 1980 for the auto. Yeah, it unladen, you know, it's adequate. I think laden, yeah, you might find that it needs a little bit more. It has got a 3 tonne towing capacity with a 300 kilo downbore weight, but you know, just driving it unladen, it probably could do with a bit more.
Yep. I suppose for someone that's spent a lot of money on the toys, whether it be the jet skis or the boat or the caravan out the back, and maybe they're looking at cutting a bit of money back on this part of the purchase. Yeah. Wow, you know, like that, you'd still want to look at this one, wouldn't you? Like,
well, I mean, if you're using this like as, you know, your family car, I suppose, you're driving it around suburbia, taking it away on a weekend, but you know, not having it loaded up too much, fine, isn't it? Perfectly fine. Yeah, for a lot of people, one of the things that they might, you know, be a little hesitant about getting into something, you know, this inexpensive, I suppose, is the backup there. But you know, it's got a 5-year 130k warranty. Like you said, it's got roadside assist for the 5 years as well. You've got a loan car if the car's off the road for more than 48 hours for a warrantable item. That's an awful lot of backup in the thing too, isn't it? You know, there's 40 40 LDV dealers around Australia. They're looking to increase that as well.
Yes, that's true. Yep.
Yeah. So
interestingly, this is the really the first step in terms of exporting these to the world. And New
Yes,
Zealand
that's
got them
right.
just before Australia, so
Yeah.
Australia's the second market.
Yeah.
And they're looking to do more, but we are the early adopters of this car internationally.
And I think, look, the overall impression I get from the thing is it's pretty good. The plastics can be a little bit hard, I suppose, in some surfaces, but I think value for money wise, like compare it to, you know, like, I don't know, in terms of equipment, $60,000 dual cabs, isn't it? So in terms of that,
Yeah. I think we've got quite a bit of safety stuff on this.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you look at the tech, you've got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay on here. You've got this amazing, huge screen. It's really big.
Yeah,
right? Like,
10-inch screen.
Yeah. And really, all the buttons and stuff are massive. So, you know, when using Apple CarPlay and everything, it's so easy to use. So really full ticks to them for that.
The Bluetooth works really well. Like, you know, it's quite loud with the sound system if you turn it up to hear something. But the overall thing I found was the road noise was quite low too. Like for a dual cab ute, you know, it was pretty good at 110 k an hour on the open road. You could have a decent conversation. The diesel engine wasn't that intrusive as well, which is good. So now, mate, you've had a drive of the new T60 ute. What are your impressions? What do you think?
Yeah, well, I think today we've been lucky enough. We've been able to drive the Pro and the Lux, and they're really aimed at sort of two different markets. So it's been interesting, and they're quite two different cars in many ways. So, you know, the Pro is more around the tradie, sort of harder surfaces inside, you know, like...
more functional.
Absolutely functional.
Yeah.
So absolutely fit for purpose.
Yeah.
And it gets most of the features that the Lux gets, but just misses a few. There's about a 4K price difference, I think, on that. And then you've got the Lux, so maybe more the tradie that's also going to use it on the weekend, you know, as the family run around as well. And that comes with a few extra things, and like leather seats and, you know, a couple other features. It's great.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, that for a value proposition, they're throwing a hell of a lot of these things, haven't they? More than these cars, isn't it? Yeah, which is good. And, you know, the backup that they're actually throwing it at the car too, to try and get, you know, the Australian consumer along to try out the thing. 5-year, 130k warranty on the thing. What, the loan car if it's off the road for more than 48 hours, I think, which is good.
That's really important.
So a lot of stuff like that is actually, you know, a very, very good value proposition. But I've got to say though, drivability wise, especially in the Pro model, I'd probably have to say that it could do with some Australian suspension tuning. It's very firm, I found. It bounces a lot over our normal roads and stuff like that. The Lux isn't so bad. The Lux is pretty good. But also drivability with the 2.8 diesel engine could just do with a little bit more power and torque, I think.
I agree with that.
We were driving it and it was a little bit, you know, it was unladen, but, you know, if you loaded it up, I reckon, you'd find that you'd have to plan your overtaking moves and stuff like that.
And it's important to note the suspension's different for the Pro and the Lux.
Yes.
And the Pro is where we probably felt that it needed more of that, and the Lux was a bit better. So,
I think maybe, you know, put the suspension tune in the Lux into the Pro. So I don't know, that might fix that up. So.
Yeah. And I think we've just taken it off-road now as well.
And
it seems to be very capable off-road. Downhill descent works really well.
Yeah, I was impressed with that. But the other thing that impressed me about it is like the fit and finish, and like road noise is minimal in the thing. The diesel engine isn't that noisy as well. And like I said, you know, throwing a lot of that stuff at the car for value, you know, hey, like it's pretty good.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, just want to put a big thank you out to our friends at LDV for letting us have a drive of the T60 ute today. And just want a big thank you to everybody else out there. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.